What's up, guys? Welcome into the PTA Postgame Show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. Join alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We got Tim in Green Bay here to talk about this heartbreaker. Packers drop to the Eagles in the wild card round of the playoffs. Tough loss all the way around. Boy, there's no denying the Eagles were the better team. I feel really comfortable saying that. Were there some bad calls? Yes, there were. And if you don't believe me, go to Twitter. Boy, it's on fire right now. And some pretty notable people commenting on it as well. We usually try to start the post-game show off with, all right, what happened? Why did it happen? Let's go around the room. What did you guys see happen this evening? I just want to say this. We're starting late. We were reading y'all's comments. We were crying, laughing in here before we started the show because the comments are just off the chain tonight. It was unbelievable. King Tron with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, Jacobs, Watson, Reed, Love, Jenkins, Myers, Quay, Jair, Dobbs. Make a roster out of what's left. You don't win a quarter of football all year. On to the draft. Very well said there, King Tron. Again, you had injuries across the board tonight. People dropping like flies. I want to say this. I do want to lead the show off with this, man. Boy, oh boy. Josh Myers, that injury, that broke my damn heart.
Yeah, man.
And you guys know we've talked about it. Like his teammates, what was the award they voted him for? Like it's almost like a favorite teammate award, right? And overcoming things this year, kind of that strength award. The fact that he shatters his leg 3 minutes before he hits free agency, the same year that his dad passes away. Man, and you guys know my opinion of Josh Myers is I think that we should move on from him. I've said that all year long. But when you see something like that happen to somebody, man, I don't know how you guys feel, but that crushed me, man. It absolutely crushed me.
It's tough. That's career altering. You know, it's just crummy timing for a guy like him in the position that he's in, you know, literally both the position that he plays and, you know, like where he is as far as the trajectory of his career right now. And, you know, that's multiple months of rehab and surgeries, and he's got a long road ahead of him. And it's tough because he's still kind of, you know, in that middle stage of his development, you know, as a player in this league. So we don't know where he's going to play ball again or if he's going to play again. You know, we don't know how serious it even is at this point. It just looks like really bad. So we got to put our prayers up for Josh for sure, man.
Lower leg bending sideways when it's, you know, really meant to go forward and back is not ideal. So, you know, exactly, prayers up for him.
Yep.
Yeah, that was probably, you know, listen, it sucks losing the game. Don't get me wrong. If you guys follow this show, you know, all week long, I've been pretty straightforward. I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I've been pretty straightforward that, look, nobody's giving you a snowball chances in hell of winning this ball game. But as devastating as that loss was, when I seen it happen to Josh Myers, it was like, golly, boy, this really, really sucks.
It just Dan said it. I'm the one guy on the Myers sucks list, and I will admit that, but my heart hurt too seeing that Clayton.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. Yeah. And again, is he going to be able to make money if his career is over? And I don't think there's no reason to think his career is over. Yes, he'll be able to make a living. It's not like he's going to be, you know, but when you see someone who works their ass off their entire life to get to this point, and then you've seen a little bit of ups, but mostly downs at the NFL level, and we've always thrown in that caveat of, hey, man, he's got this athletic ability that if he hits free agency, he's probably going to make a pretty good chunk of change, and we're probably not willing to pay him that chunk of change, right? It's just tough to see, man. It is. So thoughts and prayers out to Josh Myers, man. Absolutely sucks. And Romeo Dobbs, man, that looks scary too. Yeah. Am I wrong there? You know, when he hit the ground, I knew his head hit, but I didn't think too much of it. But the longer he stayed down, I was like, oh man, that could be career altering too. I could be wrong, but that kind of made me feel, Emilio, like the whole Tua situation. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of saw those hands kind of roll up into fists. You know what I mean? Like you said, sort of the Tua situation. Not exactly it, but, you know, absolutely hate to see that for Romeo going up there trying to make a play on the ball. You know, and just fell awkwardly, and Hurts too. I mean, when he fell on it and hit it, but I just tough for Romeo, man. I just really hoping for all our guys, Josh, Romeo, Reed, that didn't look good either on his, his shoulder collarbone. I like we were saying that where it was kind of pointing to, and then, it's just war of attrition, and we took a lot of shots this game. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, King Tron, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Elder Grimm, hope you're doing well, man. I know you had the surgery and everything. Hopefully everything's going good there. He said, got to get this out of the way early. Change my mind. Malik Willis wins that game with how the D played. For me, I don't feel confident saying that Willis would win that game. But I will tell you this, Jordan Love played like cheeks. There's no getting around that. There's no denying that.
Right.
Will Malik Willis, would he have won that game? Think about how the interceptions happened, right? The one to Wicks, I don't know how you guys feel, and we'll go around the horn with this. Maybe it's the best way to answer this question or comment on this. The deep shot to Wicks, I had no problem with. I felt like it was a decent ball, right? First of all, was it Slay that picked it off? Am I thinking right? Hell of a play by Slay. You'd like to see Wicks fight for that ball a little bit more. If worst case scenario, kind of play defense a little bit. But I don't think he was expecting Slay to make the play he did. I mean, it just kind of stuck to his chest, right? So I'm not saying it's a positive play by no stretch of the imagination. That one I don't have a problem with because it's like, hey, the way they were playing D early, just take a shot. Let's see if we can loosen up. And you had
basically a punt. It ended up being a punt, and just and then the D stopped him after that drive too. Then they forced them to punt, so it was just a flip of the field. But yeah, no, I got you.
The one to Zach Bond though, I was like, Lord have mercy. This was bad. This is real bad. So anyway, anything you got to add to that comment there, Tim? Anything at all, man?
Yeah, I'm not going to go out on that limb and say that Malik Willis wins that game for us. I do get the sentiment though. The defense, played their balls off, man. They left it all out there, and it's not to take anything away. Jay Money was not Jay Money tonight. He was, Jay $2 and some change maybe tonight. So yeah, I'm not going to gloss over that fact. But I don't think I'm willing to be, jumping off to extremes and stuff like that, saying that we need to make a change at QB1. I don't believe that at all. But tough to defend Jordan's play tonight. Some real bad decisions and some bad moments of indecision that cost us sacks and turnovers in this game. So late throws over the middle will screw us every time, just like they did last year. Our season ended with late over the middle interceptions, and kind of did tonight too.
Ended the same way with Aaron too. Remember that against the Niners, late over the middle of the day and throwing the pick there. It's a common theme for sure. The other thing that stood out to me about Jordan Love's play too, since we're on the topic, is, man, we talked about it in our chat. I know passing up on the scrambling. Like there's a couple times he could have took that thing and ran, and just kind of whipped it out to the sideline behind Emmanuel Wilson on that one. Right. It's like, Bob, what are we doing here? So yeah, that was it was probably a top 3 worst game I've ever seen Jordan Love play. I feel comfortable saying that.
For sure.
Thank you for the super chat.
That pick over the middle to Bond was probably the worst I've seen him throw, I think, other than maybe that one in San Fran last year.
Yeah, right. The one in Detroit, or the one against Detroit's the one that gets me, where he just kind of flung it.
Yeah, that one was bad too. Yep.
Yeah. So there's definitely a few of them. Again, Elder Grimm, thank you, buddy. Hope you're healing well, man. Good to see you in here. Josh Martin with the super chat. LaFleur experiment needs to end. Love inaccurate.
He can block.
LaFleur can block.
No, but yeah, that's a stretch, Josh. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's I agree with 50% of that. Love was inaccurate today, but Matt LaFleur, the experiment does not need to end. It's not an experiment. He was brought in here to coach this team, and I think he's going to be the coach for the foreseeable future. So give him a chance to cook here. We got another draft coming up. We got home draft advantage coming in Green Bay. So we'll see. We got a little bit of changing of the guard in the front office. We've got some moves to make with our awesome GM, who's going to bring in some talent. And I don't think there's any reason to panic right now. I really don't.
Do you think it's fair if I'm playing devil's advocate, and we'll get to Josh Martin's super chat real quick? We deferred the kick, not in the way, or I'm sorry, we accepted the kick And then we went around and did not run on first down. We passed on first down. And then we
didn't accept the kick. We lost the coin toss.
No, yeah, we lost the coin toss.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was one of the reasons. I'm just saying it felt like we set ourselves up for just getting all the crap that we're getting right now, which I really wish we didn't. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Just did we set ourselves up for failure or what?
I've got it charted, and so like you said, we lost the coin toss. They deferred, so we were forced to take the ball first, right? Opening kickoff, you fumble, right? So is that on LaFleur? I don't think it's on LaFleur, right? First drive that we do get the ball, the very first drive, you had a first down incompletion. You end up having a punt, right? If I remember correctly. The second drive, you had a 3rd and 3 situation. Jordan Love takes a sack and lost like 13 or 14 yards. So on that 3rd and 3, should your quarterback be taking a sack on 3rd and 3? We'll have to go look at the tape. It's a boring answer, but I want to look at the all-22 before I go run the guy out of town. You know what I mean? You like an opportunity to run the football on a 3rd and 3, but at the same time, it wasn't like Josh Jacobs was just running loose all night. I felt like they had him bottled up pretty good. I know Mandy said to me one time, she said, dang, like how many guys did they have on the field? It felt like they were playing with 16 people on defense when we'd hand the ball off, right?
Yeah.
And it did, man. They're a good defense. They're the best defense in the league, according to EPA per dropback. That's the other thing that many people were not taking into consideration. And that's, again, I'm always going to look at it from a realistic standpoint. And I seen y'all have one marked in here where somebody, Nate, I think I know who that Nate is. He's one that has followed me around for 3 years. But he said, Clayton told me all week long it was going to be all right, F out of here. When did I say that the Packers are going to beat the Eagles? Can somebody help me there? Did I say that this week? Did I say the Packers are going to win this game?
I said it.
Maybe I had – Tim said it. He's owning up, right?
I said it.
Emilio, am I wrong? Did I say, hey, the Packers are going to beat the Eagles?
No, I'm pretty sure that you said we got no one's giving us a fighting chance. Let's see what we can do out there.
Right. Exactly. So that FOH, no, you FOH, bro. It's real simple. Real simple. Stop following me around. Let's try that for once. How about that? You know, again, you're talking about a team that nobody gave you a chance to beat. We're coming in banged up, but the whole NFL is banged up, right? You go out there and you lose the turnover differential 5-0 if you count the turnover on downs, right? You fumble the opening kickoff. Like, I'm confused. At what point did someone tell these fans that we were going to win this game? And I'm genuinely asking. Like, it's amazing how the same people who are constantly talking about how bad this team is are the ones that as soon as they lose to a superior opponent are like, yeah, look, tell us everything's going to be good. What? Nobody told you they were going to beat the Eagles. The Eagles are one of the best teams in the league. So this isn't directed at everyone.
Again, you didn't say that. I did. I said in the pregame that I thought we could win this game, you know.
And there was fans in the chat. You notice there was
crucify me all you want for believing in my team. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And there was fans in the chat saying the same thing, right, Tim? Hey, yep. I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them. We're going to win. We're going to win this game, right? So what you're going to get on this podcast is people being real. Tim thinks his team's going to win. He's going to say it. If I think that we're the youngest team in the league, and I don't know, this game's been played 100 damn years, and the youngest team in the league has never won a Super Bowl, and we go into a playoff matchup against a team that I'm kind of looking at and going, boy, it's going to take a lot to beat this team. And then you're going to come in here and act like the damn sky's falling. I'm in good spirits. You know, You need texting with people during the game. I need people to understand this. If you're going to text me 8 consecutive text messages about our team's soft, this team sucks, this organization's trash, stop texting me. Notice I didn't text you and go, hey, man, what do you think about this? Like, it's real simple, right? And again, that's not the fans text line. That's people I personally know that I finally had to go off tonight. Like, you guys are living in fairy tale land with the expectations you're putting on a team that isn't there yet. We said it 6 weeks ago. I said it 6 weeks ago. I'm going to be the one to say this. We are still 1 to 2 years away I think next year the window's open. We got to get a couple key pieces. But this whole living in fairy tale land, like we're just going to all of a sudden rise to the occasion and we're going to boat race a better team is just, it's silly. It's nonsense. And it makes us look silly as a fan base. But Mike Havering with the Super Chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, who is the real J Love? Late 2023 or 2024? That's a great question, Mike.
Yep,
because late 2023 looked like a top 3, top 5 quarterback. 2024 to me looked like exactly where the numbers would suggest, probably between 15 and 20 range. How do you guys feel about that? We'll start with you up there, Emilio.
Yeah, I guess it'd still be kind of tough to say. Late performance, no, but we find these stretches where we like him. I mean, where he is, performing up to where we need him. I would say my fate is still, late 2023, where he's carrying the team. I think he still has that. And I'm still, strong on where this team is heading, but a brutal way to go and a really a rough game by Love. I think he's going to say the same thing. When he gets up there to do his interview or whatever, he's going to say that he played a bad game. He should have had those bad decisions. All those are going to be on there. And I think that, we've had 2 back-to-back tough enders and tough kind of performances for him in the playoffs. I think that's something that, it could be maybe one of those Lombardi, we're not going to lose another one sort of thing to move on from. But it's not like other great, quarterbacks haven't lost in the playoffs.
It's true.
So you think we still have that love from late 2023?
The performance the past couple weeks, no, but yeah, I think it is in him. Yeah, 100%.
Good deal. Go ahead, Tim. What do you think, Bo?
I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Emilio. I think he's still the dude, and I'm not going to let 4 to 6 weeks of shaky football throw everything out the window when it comes to Jordan. So I still believe in him, but time will tell. We've got to put a line in front of him. And we had some major setbacks tonight with injury. But I think if we, put the type of offensive line Jalen Hurts has in front of him, in front of Jordan Love, I think we're having a lot of different conversations. And we need to be patient. Second year as a starter, I'm not going to go doom and gloom. And if that's how you want a fan, that's cool. More power to you. But you'll probably feel more comfortable rooting for the Bears because that's what they do. They burn it down every 2 or 3 years and they find somebody new and they quit on the process. They have no leadership, no accountability. So that's why I don't lean that way. I'm going to choose to believe. There's a reason we gave him the bag. You can agree to disagree. That's cool. But I'm not ready to cut and run just yet from Jordan. I think we still got late 23 Love in there somewhere.
Got it. And to me, the boring answer would be right in between is where I'm at. I'm not convinced we still have late 2023, but I'm also taking into account that Jordan Love, had the MCL injury this year. He missed significant time. He's without Christian Watson. Well, I'll tell you this, man. One thing I did learn tonight, Tim, is when Elton Jenkins went down, I've taken Elton Jenkins for granted because when he went down, that offensive line, is it just me or did it seem to absolutely
holy crap, man. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Holy cow.
I would have never thought a left guard plays that big of a role, but it was just like everything imploded at that
out of sync. It was bad. It affected the run and the pass game. We didn't exactly, getting pretty much the worst performance we've seen all year from Zach Tom tonight didn't help either on top of it. And yeah, man, that things looked really out of whack when Elton went down.
Yeah, definitely. And again, Mike, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Randy Cleavers with the super chat. You are the man. He says, next year will be better. I agree, man. You're talking about, on paper, 60-some million in cap space. It'll probably be closer to 40-some when you get the roster, when you get the guys that you need to re-sign. So you're going to have some maneuverability to hopefully go out and shop a little bit in free agency like we did, if the right players are out there, right? I'm not saying, overpay for good. We'll always overpay for great, but never overpay for good. But you go out there and let's say you find someone like the next Josh Jacobs or Xavier McKinney. If you just get one at a key position, right? I think it can make all the difference in the world. I really do it. And you guys know where I stand there. For me, it's top of the list is at 3 tech. Did you guys notice how Jalen Hurts outside of Rashawn Gary getting his sack and Rashawn Gary with the pressure? Then they had to simulate pressure with Edgerrin Cooper. That was a second down pressure by Gary. Third down pressure by Cooper led to a punt, right? and then Gary gets the sack. Didn't Gary have a sack? Am I thinking right?
He sure did. Sure did.
Gary had a sack later. But you notice how, other than that, those plays specifically, it was like there was no push in the middle. There was just no push. If you had a true 3-tech, imagine if you had a Jalen Carter, right? And again, they're not growing on trees. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, okay, let's just go get one. You gotta allocate resources. You got to comb through free agency. You got to comb through the draft from top to bottom and take multiple swings to find that next dude. But that's what you're really lacking, I think, in this defense. And it sounds like a broken record. We talked about it all year long. But I agree, Randy, next year will be better, man. No doubt in my mind. I'm excited for the offseason. I ain't going to lie. Godsmack AR69, appreciate you, buddy. Says, it sucks the season is over. But on the bright side, I'm sure we have our defensive coordinator of the future. The defense was damn good this year. Man, when you look at the final score here, 22-20 or 22-10, you think gave up 22 points in a playoff game. That's not great. But, man, seeing how the offense sputtered all day long, I thought the defense played really good. How did you guys feel about that? And I don't know if it's stuck out to you guys too, but Cooper, I mean, he's just everywhere. Mm-hmm. It just seems like every time you need a play, that's the dude that's around the ball.
Let's be real. The defense is the reason why we didn't lose this game 52-10.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, we were down 10-0 at halftime, guys. Mm-hmm. Like, we should have been down 28-0 at halftime. So a lot of that is due to the defense. And again, we have to exercise some patience there, right? First year with Hafley in this staff, in this scheme, got a lot of first and second year players in this system. Got to have a little bit of patience, guys. There's no reason to freak out yet. I think the defense was damn good this year. I totally agree.
Yeah, completely different defense from when we played them the first game. Like we said, 4 different starters. I think that was absolutely huge. You could see, I think Saquon was a little surprised about how Coop closed on him a couple of those, swing passes or, stretch runs, stuff like that. Really nice to see him out there. And, I think that having him and Quay in there, the amount of speed that we have inside helps this defense tremendously. And really, the defense gave up 3 points. I mean, having the ball placed on the 25 for the offense 5 seconds into the game is tough, right? So that 7 I'm not putting on them because they kept us in it until, past the middle 8 into the third. So it's, really a great performance by them.
Yeah,
absolutely. We got Jordan Love at the podium, Clay, I think.
Let me hit these super chats. I don't want them to sit too long, man. We're all backed up here, and I want to get everybody's voices heard here. We can always pull that up here in a minute. I seen it too, and I started to go, but I'm like, these people are paying money to have a conversation with us. Let's hit these real quick, okay? Even if some of them we disagree with, obviously. Nate Dogg says, get rid of our trash wide receivers. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat, Nate. Appreciate you, man. Mike Witt with the super chat says, after this year, is Matt LaFleur on the hot seat? He's becoming the Marty Schottenheimer of his era, win in regular season games and choke in the playoffs. The reason I think that I give Matt so much grace is, first of all, he's top 10, borderline top 10 now, probably around 12th all time in winning percentage, right? And what Mike Witt's pointing out here is, hey, but he chokes in the big games. Look at his starting lineup tonight. Think about it. He's without his number 1 receiver. His left guard goes down fairly early, right? His kick returner fumbles the opening kickoff. Does all this fall at the feet of the head coach? It technically does. But who's the guy you're replacing him with? Think about the most recent hires in the NFL. Let me give you an example. Some fans, and I'm not saying this is Mike Witt, but some fans would probably say, hey, give me John Harbaugh, right? Or is it Jim Harbaugh, with the Chargers. They got their asses kicked this weekend. You guys see that game? They got boat raced, right?
All that press, man.
Yeah. So it's like, who are you replacing him with? Now, I've made a joke to the guys here. Andy Monday, Schottenheimer was 2-13 in the playoffs. Stop smoking crack with your grandma. Mike Witt is not a crackhead. I just want to point that out, okay? And I appreciate the stat there, though, Andy. That was very good of you to pull that up. God, where was I going, man? The smoking crack with the grandma.
Just 3.
I'm 42 years old, and I've never heard someone say stop smoking crack with your grandma. And I'm from Kentucky. There's probably some grannies out there hitting that pipe. I'm just saying. But
That was all Emilio. I got a beer in my hand. Okay, that wasn't me.
Tim's in the IPA tonight. He said, hey, look, it's the end of the year. You guys celebrate the end of the year.
Yeah, drink them if you got them. Let's go.
Oh, man. No, do I think he's on the hot seat? I don't. And I know where I was going. I seen a tweet. Somebody said, don't let Matt LaFleur on the flight and get me this guy. And it showed Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. And you guys know I'm a Matt LaFleur stan. I immediately went, Marcus Freeman, being a Notre Dame guy. But no, Matt LaFleur is not on the hot seat by no stretch of the imagination. Again, if he had a huge build-out roster, right, I can see the argument. You go, hey, man, look, they gave you every resource. But you've got the cheapest wide receiver room in the league, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the youngest roster in the league. You've got a quarterback who just finished his second year as a starter. You were without your number one cornerback most of the year, right? Your highest paid defensive player, not named Kenny Clark. Injuries play a role, but injuries play a role with every team, like we always say. Yeah, I don't think he's on the hot seat. You guys think he's on the hot seat?
Negative. Hard negative. I mean, Mike Tomlin is just now getting on the hot seat. He's made the playoffs every year. And Matt's missed it once, right? So, there's no shot.
That's the other thing. Like, imagine if you fired Matt LaFleur, right? And you said, okay, who are you bringing in? If Mike Tomlin was available, you know how many fans would go get me Mike Tomlin? Guys, he's lost 8 straight playoff games. So I don't know who you're replacing him with. And that's why I like to respond with a question like that. Going, you know what? Let's try to see it from there. Who do you want to bring in? I don't know. Just get me somebody.
Didn't they say the same thing about Mike McCarthy, either in Green Bay or in Dallas now? Like the Dallas fans are trying to say the same thing, that he gets into the playoffs and loses. I mean, one team wins it at the end of the year. It's
yeah, definitely. Nick McSwain in the chat says team goes 11-6 and makes the playoffs with the youngest team in the league, but loses in the first round. Fire everyone, cut everyone, fire.
Thanks, Nick.
Fire Joe Barry.
Nick speaking my mind for me. Thank you.
And again, I'm not, no disrespect to Mike. Again, I want to say, right, he's asking, is he on the hot seat? And he's drawing that parallel with someone like Marty Schottenheimer that couldn't win that big game. I don't think that's an unfair comment. You asked us to answer it. I'm definitely answering it with, I think Emilio said it best, a hard no. So thank you for the super chat, Mike. Appreciate you. Biz 1987 said, boys, here's $2. This chat's out of control tonight. So
appreciate it, Biz.
Nick McSwain says, LOL, if y'all are melting down because the Packers lost the game, you need to reevaluate.
Amen. Nick McSwain dropping gems tonight. Love it.
Yeah. King Tron with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, Clay, 5+ times this past month said, not our year. FOH. Thank you, King Tron. Appreciate
King Tron. Got everybody's back. I love it.
I was thinking, man, was I drunk on the pod? That I thought I said that, but appreciate the super chat, man. Elder Grimm, super chat. Appreciate you. He says, Cooper, our number one guy on defense, says PFF post-game 81.5, man. He's a real deal, dude. He is a real freaking deal. A full off season this year, another full off season. No, his first full off season, right? Get the green dot slapped on him. Make him your mic. And let's roll with this thing. Let's roll, because that's the centerpiece too. We talk about positions of importance. Left tackle, I don't know how you guys feel. I feel great about Rasheed Walker, especially for the price. Jordan Love, where the question mark isn't there for me, but I don't think it's unfair for people to ask that question. Is Jordan Love the guy, right? And I know people say, oh, you paid him, you gave him the bag, you got to. Guys, that is basically a 2 to 3 year deal is what that comes out to. This isn't a Deshaun Watson type contract. I want to see him again next year with a fully healthy year, right? No MCL nagging and all that stuff. I wish we could get that dude to scramble the way he needs to scramble, because there's plays, there's yardage on the field that he's passing up on, trying to scramble to pass rather than, hey, here's 8 yards, let me take it and get on the ground. That's the tough part for me. But, yeah, completely agree, Elder Grimm. Cooper, we found our guy there, no doubt, man. Biz 1987, appreciate the super chat again. He says, definitely a learning experience. Let's get better. Amen to that, man. Like the positivity. King Tron with the super chat. Praying for 9, 7, 23, 11, 73. Devastated for Josh. And I feel so gutted for X and JJ. They have brought so much to us. Need depth at O-line. Amen to that. And it's funny that the people that just love Cooper DeJean and they think, oh, my God, Cooper DeJean, I can't believe we passed up on Cooper DeJean to draft Jordan Morgan. You can't help the fact that Jordan Morgan got hurt, right? So all this stuff that we're talking about needing depth at offensive line, Goody seen that and tried to do that, and the guy got hurt. What are you going to do, right? And also made him change a position. That's on the coaching staff more than Goody, in my opinion. So, said need depth at O-line and cornerback so bad. Also need that 3-tech bad. 2024 pack is scary. I'd start with the 3-tech. I think you could add some depth at the O-line and some depth at the offensive or at the cornerback position too, which we have that listed as the number 2 need according to our fans when we did the poll question, right? So,
and add to that Kingtron number 8 and number 87. I mean, it's what's that? 8 people right there.
Yep.
Just
crazy. Think about
just within the. I mean, besides C-Dub, Scoot, and Ja, that all happened that game. That's brutal. So 6 out of those 8 we lost in just that game. That's attrition right there. I mean, it's brutal that it happened to us and tough because you see them pour their hearts out. That's all they've given, all year, and just see them go down like that is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it is, man, for sure. Again, Kingtron, thank you for the super chat. Nick McSwain, been a member for 9 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Says K9 recovered that fumble. Still love this team. Go Pack, go. Man, can we talk about that for a second, boys? Is it the reason we lost? I don't know. I don't think so. But first of all, leading with the crown of the helmet, I thought that was a penalty. I had some people say, no, it's not when it's a normal ball carrier. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know this, though. When a player is laying flat on his back with both arms on the ball while a defender is trying to reach in and grab it, I don't understand how he doesn't have possession of that football. Am I off base there? Or am I just being a whiny Packer fan here?
No, that's 100%.
No, I think the entire world is still trying to figure that out. I think you're still seeing Twitter blow up about that.
Yeah, like even if you want to debate the helmet to helmet, right? We would call that a bang bang play or
whatever. Burks too, trying to crown old Packers guys. Like, okay, buddy, all right.
Yeah, but like the fumble not being recovered by Philly is totally accurate. I mean, he was on the ground with possession, then they punched it out. He recovered his own fumble. That's how I look at that play.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me too. And then once the pile happened, it was like, oh crap. You never know what's going to happen underneath that pile. And that's why when they reviewed it, right, I thought, okay, we're good. They'll see he's got both. I don't know what the hell they're looking at with the reviews. And you guys remember when we looked at Brad Allen's statistics, what did we say? They favor they Did you guys see it all night when they showed him on camera? I could not stop seeing that guy. So anyway, Brad Allen's stats were I don't know if they can hear me when we're playing it. Hopefully they can, but the stats suggested that he leaned toward the home team, right? And that's kind of what you've seen. You did all night. I know you guys talked about the interception at the end of the end zone where Bo Melton's being tackled and there's no flag, right? I seen that too. I can see that it should have been a pass interference, but it's just tough, man. It's tough. But agree, Nick. I think he recovered that ball too. I'm glad everybody in here agrees on that. Jen, let's see Mike Witt again with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Hard to be optimistic and positive about this team, Clayton. Matt LaFleur coached horrible this year. But if you're honest, people call you a hater. What a joke. Did we call him a hater? I don't think did we call Mike a hater?
No, I think you were trying to protect Mike when he was asking the question of is Matt LaFleur on the hot seat. I thought you were trying to protect him, but
okay. Yeah, Mike, I'm not calling you a hater, man. If that's what you think, not at all. He said what a joke, so I guess that's what he thought.
I mean, I don't think Matt coached horrible. We were 11-6, and we lost to, basically the Lions and the Vikings and the Eagles. I'm sorry we had that one loss to the Bears. I really am, but. We've lost. I really am
too. It sucked.
Right. Yeah. We lost to 3 playoff teams. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah. Disappointing season, right? It's a disappointing end of the year and a lot of disappointment, but I wouldn't say MLF coached horrible this year, guys. Come on, let's be real.
We potentially could be losing to all 3 divisional round teams. Like the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Lions can all be in the divisional round next week, and we could have lost to all 3. Like that could have been the majority of our losses. So we're mad at that. I don't know why we got to be mad at that. I think that's a big learning experience for this team.
Yeah. And again, I don't see how when you say he coached horrible this year. How the hell did we win 11 games? Like how did we win 11 games? And how did we have a top 10 offense and some would say a top 5 defense, but he coached horrible? That, can you say parts of his game were horrible? His challenging, let me be negative. Can I be negative for a minute?
Yeah.
His challenge flag skills suck.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
Jet sweeps on 4th and 2. That sucks.
That sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready to say he's a horrible coach, man. Again, you don't hover around the top 10 all-time winning percentage and be a horrible coach, right? At least that's my opinion. We can agree to disagree there. Mike, thank you for the super chat. Sorry if you thought I was calling you a hater, man. I don't think I called you a hater, but appreciate you, man. Jen Wright in the chat, member for 8 months. Still love this team and my posse. Amen to that. I'll tell you, there's some people reading this chat going, man, this is negative. Go to some other live stream. We're the positive ones. I promise you that. But appreciate you, Jen. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. You're awesome. Daniel with the super chat. Thank you, Daniel. He says early 23 love averaged with late 23 equals 24 love.
I get it. I get what you're saying there.
That's a good point. I mean, think about it. The first half, he was horrible. The second half, he was unbelievably great.
So what are we talking about? Brass tacks. We're talking about inconsistency, right? That's really what this boils down to. And that's something that Jordan's got to work on, being consistent throughout the year and down the stretch.
So the question, I'll tell you, you're going to get the answer next year because you've seen a good half, you've seen a bad half, and this year you've seen kind of melt. If we get the same exact performance next year from Love, I'll be the first one to say he's not one of those top-tier franchise quarterbacks. I'll be the first to say it. I'm just not quite there yet. That's what sucks about the whole season is like we're kind of right back where we started at the quarterback position. At least I am, personally. It's like, is he the guy? Emilio, Tim, you guys think he is. I think he can be, but I'm definitely not convinced that he is,
I remember we were talking about that too. It's like at the end of the year, are we going to be at 50%, 75 or 100? Right. And I think we're kind of still back to bouncing between 75 and 50.
Right.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's such an important position. Listen, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if they pull the trigger on a quarterback if the right one falls to him in the draft too. Now, there'll be half the fan base ready to string Goody up by his toenails, don't get me wrong. But that's definitely a real possibility too. It is. CJM, and thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. CJM with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, looking forward to year 2 off season with you guys. Draft will be here in 3 months. The draft's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. In Green Bay, it's going to be epic. When we made the decision to go and we were like, you know what, let's do it. Let's get a B&B. Let's get the guys up there. Let's do a live show. I was talking to Mandy. Mandy was all 110% in. I'm trying to I don't want my love for football to sway a bad decision, right? And I'm like, let's think. And then it hit me. I went, there probably won't be another draft in Green Bay for 32 years.
Yep.
Clayton will be 73. Somebody will be wiping my ass the next time there's a draft.
You'll be looking like this guy.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get up there. So I'm excited to meet a lot of the fans and have a good time with the draft. It's going to be fun, man, for sure. Thank you, CJN. Appreciate you, buddy. Badger Trio with the super chat says, I don't think Love ever was 100% physically. And, you got to be careful with that, Trio, because when you say that, there's going to be fans that go, he isn't hurt. Quit saying he's hurt. Quit saying he's hurt. I'm with you. Something didn't quite seem right because you talked about this on the pregame, Amelia. I think it was you. We haven't seen him scramble the way he did last year, right? And run with the football. I remember the play, I think it was against the Saints, where he dives over. No, it wasn't the Saints, the Vikings, New Year's Eve, where he dives over a defender into the end zone and lands on his head and everything. You haven't seen that this year, right?
And he ran it once. You see him lay out for the first down. I mean, that's that kind of drive. We just needed it a couple more times. When you're running up to the line of scrimmage, you're looking left to hit Emmanuel Wilson. I need you to kind of duck your head and run there, even if you go and slide. Give me 3 yards in a first, give me 3 yards forward.
Yeah, definitely. Mike Hebring with the super chat. Appreciate you. But he says, go Rams. That's a good question. With the Packers eliminated, who y'all rooting for now? Who do you want to see win the whole thing?
I don't care. Anybody who beats Detroit or Minnesota.
Yes, exactly. That's the first thing I thought too, Tim. I just want those 2 teams to fall flat on their face. But I do love Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay's a class act. And I know him and Matt LaFleur are real close, real good buddies.
Didn't Sean McVay get some heat for him not ever winning, Clay? I'm not sure, but
yeah, bro, you kidding me? Yeah, it was
fire him, right? Fire him, get rid of him.
Yeah. All it took is to win one Super Bowl, and then there you go. You're good. So again, Mike, thank you for the super chat. Rams are probably my team, although I would like to see Buffalo win one. Buffalo's never won one. Their market is a lot like ours. Emilio, you're kind of from upstate New York, so I don't know how you feel. You might hate the Bills. I don't know. Sometimes when it's close to home,
depends on the day. Sometimes that song gets a little old, but no, I mean that's true though. I think it's the same thing kind of falls for McDermott there too. Is he the coach? I mean, he hasn't brought him home a Super Bowl. Are we trying to get rid of him? Are they going to get rid of Josh Allen if Josh Allen doesn't take him there this year? And didn't Aaron Rodgers have more passing yards and stuff this year than Josh Allen or something like that? Something crazy. It's like all these different stats we want to pull, and you're mad if your team doesn't go home with a Super Bowl each year. Jordan didn't have a good game. That's the truth. But I don't think it's time to, send the ship off and push it out in the middle of the ocean on fire, right?
That was it the Viking funeral?
Exactly. I don't think we need one of those yet.
Maybe you've been playing Assassin's Creed too.
Oh, don't even get me started. I have every single one, Clay.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you this season, buddy. You supported us a lot. We really, really appreciate it. Nate Dizzle says, youngest team 2 years in a row, playoff appearances 2 years in a row. Pretty good start to the post-Rodgers era, and 90% of the players still have a lot of untapped potential. Those are all factual comments. The thing that bothers me about the youngest team in the league, and you guys know I say it all the time, I'm always going to point that out because it's unrealistic expectations if you don't point that out. But I'm getting tired of us being the youngest team in the league. It's fun. It's cool. The base is set. Again, no one in the history of the game has done that and won a Super Bowl. So let's put some veteran pieces in place now. You know what I'm saying? Don't overpay for good, but go get some veteran pieces in place. And let's see if we can get over the hump next year, right?
And have a plan for that, because there's nothing wrong with mixing in veteran talent. And if you know you're going to get a guy for 1 or 2 years and you want to get those last good couple years out of him, we talked about Bobby Wagner early, last preseason about possible free agent signing. What could you get out of him? Well, we got laughed at a little bit in the chat, but look at the year he's had with Washington. So
he'll next to Cooper.
You can make moves like that, but have that contingency plan. Make sure you're scouting ahead and make sure you're looking at replacing, that veteran player that you're bringing in to get you over the hump, because, the NFL is not for long, right? It's a now league. Win now, get it done now. The window opens and the window closes very quickly. So I don't think there's anything wrong with peppering in some veteran talent, as long as you have a plan for when they exit and that you have draft position behind them, or you're signing other free agents and you're keeping yourself young, because we've seen what a team full of wily veterans in Green Bay can accomplish. And let's be honest, guys, we had some disappointing years. So I like the youth movement, but I totally agree with the thought of peppering in some veteran leaders and talent out there for sure, regardless of position group.
Yeah. All right. Nate Dizzle with the super chat. Thanks, buddy. He says, thanks for a great season. Appreciate you guys. Hey, thank you for the tip there, man. And thank you for being a part of it, Nate. Anytime we get these, hey, thanks for a great season, just understand the feeling's mutual. And without the chat, without everybody listening, us collectively as a whole, the hosts and the chat, that's what makes it so much fun. It really is. So it's not about us, but thank you, Nate. Appreciate the support, man. Badger Trio, thank you. He says, sucks. Season's over. Next stop, draft in Green Bay. Excited. Amen, man. Amen.
Let's go.
Good food, good friends, good times. Going to be a memory you can tell your grandchildren about, right? You can go in there and say, I remember when I was your age, I go to the drafts.
Remember when the city of Green Bay's population swelled by 500,000 people in 3 days?
Yeah. And that guy with the beard got a tattoo on his ass. I remember that. So there you go. Appreciate you, Trio. Frank in the chat from Twitter. Appreciate you, man. He says, we beat ourselves, man. I can't believe it. That's a pretty fair statement. That's what sucks about these losses is like, it wasn't like, I think the Eagles are the better team, right? I believe it. I really do. But tonight, they didn't beat us. We kind of beat ourselves, You turned the ball over 5 times, including the turnover on downs. Well, you ain't going to win no game. Losing the turnover differential 5-0, just ain't going to happen. So I'm with you, Frank. That's a very, very good comment there, man. Very accurate. Jake G126 with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, just want to thank PTA for the season-long coverage. Looking forward to the offseason on the game injury bug and nagging mistakes finally bit them. Yeah, it did. And again, you never want to use injuries as an excuse, but man, Jaden Reed goes out of the game there late too, right? That was a lick he took. Me and Emilio, we'll be top in the text, right, Emilio?
Collarbone. God, I couldn't even type it out fast enough. You already said I just went back and hit the arrow. Said, "Yep."
Did you see Jordan again shaking his hand there at the end of the game? Was I the only one going, "Oh, just F it, pull him before we lose somebody else"? Oh my God!
A-Fam somewhere going, yeah, pull him, put Malik. A-Fam got Malik Willis on his underwear. You know what I mean? Got it on the waistband, on his whitey tighties, right next to the Cheetos stain. So. Jake, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words, buddy. Tony C says, as an Eagles fan, that was the ugliest offensive performances by two playoff teams I've ever seen. So sorry about the Pack players who were injured. We are a physical football team.
Yep.
One.
Hey, and I started this one. I'm glad you pulled this up. Really respect this from an Eagles fan right here. And I like what he said here about they're a physical football team. And you know what separates the Eagles from the Lions is they're not dirty. The Lions are a physical team, too. They got some dirty-ass players on that team.
That's a good point.
I didn't see any dirty play whatsoever from Philly at all. Anything that seemed, like even we talk about the helmet-to-helmet stuff, a lot of that is fluke, unintentional, technique kind of things. It's not a dirty style of play. So I would agree. I think Philly was extremely physical. I mean, the injuries that we sustained in this game prove it. You just talked about the one that Bird took in the shoulder. I don't know if that's clavicle, collarbone, shoulder, whatever. Something's not right there. It was just good physical football from the Eagles, and I totally agree. I think that's a really good observation and a fair statement. And appreciate the grace, too. Sorry to see guys get hurt. Philly lost some guys. Darius Slay got banged up tonight. You lost,
Who's a linebacker?
Nakobe
Dean, right?
Yeah, Nakobe Dean. I mean, you talk about stud linebacker there. So, guys get banged up either way when you're playing physical. This is a grown man's game. You saw a lot of blood on the jerseys. You saw a lot of blood on the turf today. You're fighting for your playoff life out there, and just really cool to see that from an Eagles fan. Eagles fans get that reputation for being, Eagles fans, and it's pretty cool to just see the other side of it. So shout out to Tony C for sure.
Yeah, and we had Amelia all week long. Eagles fans in here. They were cool. Were they not?
Yep.
They were awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome in here anytime we play the Eagles. And I promise you this, Tony, you're spot on, man. Like Tim said, very physical football team y'all got over there, man. No doubt.
Yep.
Hoping to see our boy Brian in here too, man. See if he swings back in through.
Oh yeah,
that's right, Brian. I just want to see
profile pick of the year.
Yeah,
it's awesome. You guys have not seen that video. You've got to go watch it. It's the greatest thing ever. Mandy Bailey with the super chat says we should have ran more yo-yos. Draft 2025 LFG. Mandy, stop spending my damn money. Stop spending.
No, Mandy, run it again. Swipe that card again.
Swipe Clayton's card one more time.
She could have just made a paper $10 bill airplane and thrown it up to you, but let's swing some to YouTube to keep us going.
I love it.
It's the only listener I'll flirt with in here is Mandy. So you got to get hit the eyebrows there a little bit. Slick them down. Thank you, Mandy. We basically we gave YouTube $2 just now, so I appreciate it. You're awesome. Joseph in the chat. A lot of other teams would say, "Hold my beer," if you told them we had a bad coach.
Preach.
It's a great
Preach.
Point. Great point. Again, does it make this
complaining about Matt LaFleur? Have you seen what happened in the league this year? Holy cow!
Right.
There's still this. I mean, it's these organizations get blown up every other year for coaching staffs, right? And they're looking for those guys. What it comes down to with the coaching staff in the NFL, in my opinion, is you're looking for a coach that can give you an opportunity to win a Super Bowl every single year, which means stamp you a spot in the playoffs, right? And then anything can happen. Maybe I'm naive as a fan, but that's really how I see that. And I think Matt LaFleur gives you that opportunity. I do. He made mistakes. He's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. You guys heard us on this show, talking about the jet sweeps, getting aggravated over the jet sweeps. Nobody's saying he's perfect, but yeah, I think we've got a damn good football coach. I do. The one thing I will say, and I know this has been a sensitive topic this year, if I could pick one more negative on Matt, got to control the emotions a little bit more. And I know there's people that go, oh, that's crazy. Every coach is emotional. Your team is going to be a reflection of you. If you're going to show in the first quarter that something bothers you that bad, whether it's a play that goes in the opposite direction, you're the leader of the organization. You're the CEO, right?
Yep.
You know what made Aaron Rodgers such a good leader, especially early in his career, is they said he was even kill every play. Now, what happened on the backside of his career? He became that old ornery guy, right? We all do. I'm there. I'm an old ornery bastard myself. But I'd like to see Matt try to control those negative emotions a little bit more, if that makes sense.
I'd like to see it in the locker room. You know, you like to see that at halftime in the locker room or behind closed doors, but on the sidelines, you're right, Clay. You want to be composed out there. And, you know, the best coaches do it. They have that fire and they go to bat for their players, but, you know, never let them see you sweat, man, when you're out there. Cameras are on you. Everyone's watching you. You're on the sidelines. You know, you get in that locker room at halftime, you gotta get the piss hot again. You got to fire up the troops. I'm all for it. But in the heat of the battle like that, you got to keep your cool. I would agree.
Yeah, definitely. Seth Reuter, good to see you, buddy. Seth, the guy that won the Monday Night Football tickets that we gave away last year or 2 years ago, went to the game with us. Absolutely awesome. Good to see you in a minute. Thank you for the super chat. I'm giving Love benefit of the doubt. Hurt all year, never got rhythm. Wide receiver injuries piled up. You know, some would say those are excuses, Seth. I think they're fair points. I really do. But again, it sucks when you get paid the contract that Jordan got paid. Now everybody expects him to be perfect. And is that a fair critique? I don't know. Maybe it is. I personally don't look at it that way. I look at it on a game-to-game basis. Who are we playing this week? What's the game plan? Which we don't truly know what the game plan is until after the game, right? And then that game plan, as Mike Tyson said, gets thrown out the window when you get smacked in the mouth. I agree with you, Seth. There's nothing there that I don't agree with, man. I think all that's factual. Appreciate you swinging through, buddy. Hope to see you soon. King Tron with the super chat. Last big one of the season, boys, trying to help keep the lights on and the heat burning. I'd love a little dive into who y'all think may be gone next year. Obvious free agents and maybe trades/cuts. We're gonna do a lot of that this offseason, Tron, obviously. Right off the bat, though, where my mind's going now that the Packers are eliminated is immediately, okay, who's going to return? The first question is Jair Alexander. Is there going to be some kind of a contract renegotiation there, right? Is it going to be something where you're converting some base salary to signing bonus, freeing up a little bit of cap space, or do you let him go outright? Do you try to trade him? I don't know. If he's healthy, we want him on the roster, but I think it's really, really fair to look up at Jai and go, okay, is he going to be healthy? Because he's missed a whole lot of time the last couple of years. But that question is first and foremost. And when it comes to free agency, I want that 3-tech, man. Give me that 3-tech. We got to have that 3-tech. And again, the defense was the bright point tonight, right? If you have that 3-tech, do you win that game turning the ball over the way you do? No, you don't. You don't. But I think it's the most important piece. And we got to coach that out of Jordan, man. You got to protect the football. Tonight was unacceptable. It was. He'll be the first to say it, I'm sure. We were getting to the presser, but chat's lit up, man. I want to give you guys and gals a voice as it's the last game of the season. We get ready to go into the offseason here. So, Tron, thank you so much. You guys want to answer that real quick? Just a little deep dive into who you think will be gone next year. Maybe one leaving and what position you'd like to see filled in free agency.
You know, you talked about 3-tech in the trench warfare issue that we have on this team as we see Devontae Wyatt go out again. We see TJ Slayton, who I've been trying to carry the torch for this year, a guy that I've always kind of liked during his time in Green Bay, but I think TJ might have played his way off the team tonight. He kind of cost us there in crunch time and, looked good, but then looked really bad on a few of those snaps. I'm sure we'll do more when we deep dive and get Chalk Talk ready and try and really review what happened out there. But that name comes to mind. And then, you got to look at injuries. Jair's not the only one that you got a question mark with now. I mean, look at our receiver core. The future of this receiver core just got blown up in a series of 2 games, We've got question marks about Reed, Watson, and Dobbs now. Josh Myers' injury may have just decided whether or not we're going to make a move with him next year. So those are off the top of my head. You look at linebackers, Zay McDuffie, Eric Wilson. kind of question marks there. We may move towards the draft or free agency, another direction. So, off the top of my head, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Each year, each team's different. Last year's team that beat the Cowboys different from this year's team. This year's team's going to be different from next year's, and I think that if it were to pick any, probably lean Ja, and then now just recently because of the injury, I think we got to figure out for Josh, not like putting anything on him, but I think someone started. He was coming off on crutches and a boot. They were saying maybe like a lower leg. Fracture, injury, something like that. And like I said, leg supposed to be going forward, forward and backwards, going sideways. Not ideal. Dan here says Myers had possible fracture in the leg, walking boot, crutches out of the locker room. Brutal.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not anything that you wish for, but if the injury happens, you're going to have to figure it out. It's going to be a real short time to get back on the season. Is it going to be one of those where you're going to miss all of next year, or is it a 6-month recovery window? Because next season's going to start pretty fast once it gets rolling here.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe you look at, depending on how his rehab goes and his availability is looking, maybe you get him cheaper now because the market is going to change for Josh, in free agency. So maybe there's a chance he's like a contingency plan if you're trying to develop, maybe like Sean Ryan moving over to center or, whatever the future is going to be there at that position. You could still keep Josh around maybe for the cheap 2-3 year kind of deal. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Dan, thank you for that information there, man. Again, Josh Myers, I hope he had an insurance policy or something, to be honest with you, just to protect himself. And again, it's why you will never hear me complain about a player holding out in the final year of their deal. That's what happens. Now, did he have leverage to hold out? Absolutely not. Kind of a little bit different, but that's the stuff that can happen, man.
The other good thing is walking boot and crutches out of the locker room is a hell of a lot better than onto a cart into an ambulance. You got to go to surgery. You've got massive break. You've got internal bleeding, crazy stuff. So hopefully it's not hyper super serious, and he can get back.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. It sucks. Yeah. Joseph in the chat, appreciate you, buddy. Says, can't wait for these fair weather fans and trolls to be gone from the chat so we can get down to off-season business like only PTA does. That's one beautiful thing about it. One beautiful thing about it, Joseph. Many of the overly emotional people, they do disappear in the offseason. They'll go pretend like they care about the Bucks, and then they'll pretend like they care about the Brewers, and then around draft time, you'll see them pop back up, and then all of a sudden, when the season kicks off, we better win a damn Super Bowl this year. All right.
Got to play more press man.
Welcome back. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate you. We're with you, man. With you on that for sure. Let's see here. Godsmack AR69, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, hear me out, guys. I wouldn't mind seeing Detroit win the Super Bowl. All right, well, I'm already done with this. Wouldn't mind seeing Detroit win the Super Bowl because that would mean the Vikings would be the only team in the NFC North without a ring, and that would destroy them. LMAO. I would like for neither of them.
Correct. That is the correct answer.
But that would be it. I'm going to ask y'all. I'm going to steal Godsmack AR69 super chat here, and I'm going to ask a question with it, okay? Which would you rather see? You got to pick one of the two. Which would you rather see win the Super Bowl, the Detroit Lions or the Minnesota Vikings? I'm going to start with you, Emilio. Who would you rather see? You got to pick one. You can't skirt around this. This is where I would ask Jacob this, and he'd say, I'd rather see the Chargers.
That's what I would say. The answer really is none, neither.
Yep.
No.
Tell him none.
You're refusing to answer the question, sir?
I think I'm going to stand on that. I plead the fifth. I'm going to say no.
Ask me that question, Clay. You going to ask me that question?
Yeah.
You want an answer?
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
It's a tough question, is it not?
It's not that.
Why don't you just spin that wheel?
Both of those teams.
Tim said, spin that wheel. I'm not answering it.
I don't want to see either of them. No. Nope.
I respect that. I
want the NFC to fall off before either of them goes.
Exactly. Burn it to the ground before I root for one of those teams to win.
All right, Godsmack, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. I understand your logic there, though. I really do, Godsmack. Let's see. Jazambi, I think I'm saying that right. Great work, guys. Package coming soon. Go Pack, go. Appreciate it. Jazambi's going to send some stuff to do some giveaways, which is awesome, man. We got the best fans. Really appreciate you. Appreciate you being a part of the season this year, man. It's been a lot of fun. Brian Pumper with the super chat.
There he is.
Hey, there it is.
Let's go.
Best profile pick in the business, he says. Hey, fellas, I appreciate the amount of work you guys put in your content. Very physical game today with multiple casualties. Whew. Y'all a number one wide receiver and a center away. I appreciate that, Brian. There's a lot of fans that would agree with you, man. You know, that hey, now's the time to go get that true number one. And obviously, center is going to be a big hole unless they just kick it out there. But
do you think Monk is the backup center because he was the one that came right in, but then they ended up just giving it to Sean Ryan because they didn't want to move around and Glover had already been in for the game, or what?
Man, I keep going back to that Rob Domofsky comment that he made last year that the center of the future is in the building, and he just left it at that. And it was someone in the organization that told him that.
So
maybe
Sean Ryan.
Maybe it's Jordan Morgan. Is it Jordan Morgan?
I don't know, man.
Was it before the draft or after the draft? Do you remember?
It was. I'm pretty sure it was after the draft. It was going into camp that they said this, and that's where we were all like, "Whoa, who is that?" If I had to pick one, I think it's Elton Jenkins. That's my opinion. But at the same time as they were saying it, I remember it was on Wildy's show. Jason Wildy was saying, "I think they really like Jacob Monk." So. Kind of goes with what you were saying, Amelia. I know this
because he was the one coming in, but he had not taken a snap yet this year.
Right.
Yeah, at least at center. Maybe he played a couple at guard or something. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
No, if I had to pick right now and I had to bet the farm, my money would be on Elton Jenkins to play center. Okay, but if Jacob Monk steps into that role and he's as good as Josh Myers, I think he needs to be better than Josh Myers played while he was here for us to kind of go to that next level.
Yeah.
But that would be wild. Again, I'm not taking it off the table that we need to go find the center of the future this offseason. But that comment from Rob Domofsky, though, man, that really it makes me go, I think they're just going to stick to their guns with the centers they got in-house, And again, could that have been a smokescreen? It could have. I don't mean to disrespect anyone that makes a comment like that, whether it's Rob, Wildy, Tausch, whoever. They obviously trust their sources. But also, if you've got the highest graded center in the draft and they're available in the fourth round, you're going to take them and they win the camp battle. There's your center of the future. A lot can change, But, Brian, just want to say, man, all the Eagles fans that swung through this year, both in week one and this week here, you guys were total class. Appreciate y'all swinging through. You got a hell of a football team, man. Go win the whole damn thing. You can do it, man. I believe it. The way that roster is built, they're a physical team, and it takes physical football in the playoffs, man. You can have the flashiest, best roster built known to man, but if somebody comes out there and kicks your ass for the first three quarters, a team will lay down. And you guys are built like that, no doubt, man. Appreciate the super chat. Let's see here. All good in the chat. Our offense failed. No lies detected there.
Yeah, pretty simple, right?
No, it's exactly what happened today. Kyle in the chat, appreciate you. Said, awesome year, fellas. A lot to look forward to. Thanks for all the awesome coverage of day-to-day Packer life. Hey, you're welcome, man. Thank you for being a part of it. Really, really appreciate it, Kyle. And Coach Lynn says, it's got to be Ryan. Don't move Jenkins. There you go. And that's the other thing when you start moving people around.
Yeah.
Right? Well, Tim, we were just saying.
Coach Lynn's got my back, man. I've been saying that forever. Keep out in that left guard where he belongs.
I just turned right around and said, I think it's Elton that's going to be center. But what did I say 15 minutes ago when Elton went out at left guard? Oh, my God, everything fell apart, right?
Exactly.
So, great point. Great point. Love the fact that the chat keeps me on point here, on base. But, all right, I think that's all the super – oh, God.
Oh, no.
We have to, really.
Fired up.
Did we get one, though? Oh, he did pay it. Oh,
yeah.
man.
King Tron.
Plugged
so
in the block
finally
here.
froze over, and McManus missed a field goal.
But McManus stayed true to his word. He said in his interview, I don't miss kicks back to back in my life. I think he said in my life, or at least I don't miss kicks back to back. And he kept true to that. So I'll give that to him. I'm really not mad at the 3 points because our defense kept us in it. I think go back to the chat before. Our offense failed us is the answer to the question.
And we absolutely still sign him.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's not funny. I'm gonna have a moment here with you guys. When he missed that kick that I felt like was going to be a chip shot for him, when he pushed that thing right, I literally looked at the ceiling and said, "God hates me."
You think God never farted?
How did you know to hit that? You didn't know I was going to say that. What in the world? Or was that Emilio? Was that Emilio?
That was me. Yeah, I could feel it coming.
You could feel
Emilio
the words coming through.
Emilio was like,
Huh? That ain't no problem. Well,
When he missed that kick, I said that out loud, and I went, "I don't mean that. I don't mean that, obviously, but what else could go wrong today?"
Yeah.
Like, seriously, man. And is that on the floor? I'm crying over here. That's the Lord, bro. That's the Lord. Dude, is it on the floor? No, right? Missing that kick. God, it's just like everything that could go wrong went wrong. You know what I mean? So one of those games, no doubt.
Yep.
And then King Tron comes back. He probably felt bad making a stock kicker there. First of his postseason career. No, he didn't feel bad. He's doubling down.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Tron. First of his postseason career.
When was his last miss besides this one?
Man, that's a great question.
oh man, week.
So like that's it. That's what
Something like that. He missed.
That's what I'm saying. How can we be mad if people are mad at if we're pointing fingers at McMoney this offseason?
Hey, I'm still on the sign him back.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then not to get all like nitpicky here or anything, but you see how much he missed by, right? Like it was just a slightly bad strike on that ball, and it just kind of faded on him. He's not like shanking it,
Right. No, I completely agree, man. Washington is leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. So we're in the middle late. Washington has the ball just over the 50-yard line. They're leading 7-3. Washington's another team I wouldn't mind to see win it. Right, been a long time for that fan base. They've been through a lot with that crappy owner they have forever. Right,
but a 4-point lead against Baker and the Bucs is not a lead, so
don't mean anything, doesn't it?
Yeah,
no doubt about it. All right, we got all the super chats, man. Appreciate it. Well, King Tron said, "Here's an extra $1 since y'all talked kicker."
Sympathy buck, I love it. Tron's the man, I love it. That's it. We're gonna have to add another face to the Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah. So listen,
Bates.
What? Look at this guy.
Oh,
unbelievable.
I don't even know what to
United
say
Bates.
Dropping that hundo. He says donation.
I didn't even read it yet. I didn't. I just saw what it was.
He said donation for the butt tat.
For the butt tat. Hold on a second. We gotta patch Jacob in on the phone. Hold on. He said
put that name in my mouth right there.
I'm gonna screenshot that right now and send it to Jacob. We got it screenshotted. Bates, you're too kind, man. We appreciate you. He said donation for the butt tat. Just want to say thank you to Clay and the crew in the chat. Grateful I found this channel. Being able to talk Packers all year and make friends along the way has been amazing. Go Pack, go. Bates, thank you so much. You've done way too much, buddy. We appreciate it. That's all I know to say.
Yeah. And thank you for your service too, Bates. For sure. We gotta salute Bates too.
Absolutely. I figured we just dropped this for Bates just because he's the man. I know he gets it done. So, all
right, you got to stop it though before we get flagged.
Can't thank him enough.
That the hundo gets the Ola Home Depot music every single time, right? I thought Evan Williams played pretty good tonight too. I could be wrong. I felt like he stuck his head in there a couple times and made some stops on Barkley.
I agree. I don't think he didn't look too rusty. So
yeah. Again, Bates, man, I don't know what to say. I don't want to make it awkward, but just thank you, buddy. Just please know that you're appreciated. You've done way too much this year, and look forward to meeting you at the draft, man. Hope you can make it up there in April.
Absolutely.
Definitely buying you a daddy soda, man. If you don't drink, we'll get you whatever you drink, all right? But thank you so much for that, bro. All right, guys. Like I said, we could have hit the pressers. We could have hit the stats, all that stuff. Yeah, that's right, Mrs. Green, no doubt. But I wanted to kind of let the chat talk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get everybody's voice.
I just got to put this. Yeah. Thank you, Bates. We appreciate you, my man. And at the same time, let's just throw out an appreciation post to our man over here. LG Grimm said Bullard was number 2 on the PFF postgame. I was gonna highlight that before we got off.
Let's do that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vic. Sitting just directly behind Edrin Cooper, prelim grades. Edrin at 80.6, Javon at a 76.3. with a tackle grade of a 76.4.
Thick.
And he can play slot. I don't know. He was able to play slot the whole time. That was nice.
Thick.
Did we get the slot answer there? Did we find our slot defender?
Hey, like I said, I think we might have, but I don't think that means we don't draft a slot corner, right? Or maybe try and pick one up. But I think it seems like Evan Williams is comfortable back there next to X, right? And then you've got Bullard more comfortable in the slot. That might be the formula. And then you got to look to build around that, right? We got KT Oladapo back there to back Williams up, I think, long term. We haven't seen much of Kalen King. We'll get another camp under his belt, see where he can play. I'm not sure if he can play much in the slot or if he's more of a boundary guy. But I do agree with that statement. I think Bullard might be that dude in the slot because he looks really good out there.
Javon Bullard, 2 snaps in the box, 1 on the D-line, 28 in the slot.
He can slot.
He can. It looks like 2 targets, 2 receptions for 4 yards. I mean, let's go.
Love it.
Hey, man, like Tim said, it doesn't mean you don't take another swing at it, but and there's going to be injuries too, right? What you want to prevent is that whole carousel starting back up, that if he does go down for a game or two, now Keyshawn's got to kick in, and you know what I mean? Why not go out and try to get another slot corner? But I'm leaning towards, that stuff doesn't happen with rookies, guys. You know what I mean? Because is that back-to-back games that he had really good? I'm going to pull it up.
I think it's been a couple games.
We got a couple minutes here, don't we? Let me see. Now you've told the grade there, so let me just pull up Javon Bullard, and I want to see
past two. Okay. Before the past 2, everyone was cutting on him the Detroit-Minnesota game, saying that he's terrible and that he's got to go. So at least recency bias for the offseason will keep them happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see here. Let me get it pulled up. God, I hate that they changed everything.
While you're pulling that up, we got another super chat. Chris N said, "I died a little tonight. R.I.P. me. Love you guys." Appreciate that, Chris. I'm glad you were able to come alive to send that over, man.
All right, so Bullard, I was wrong. So let's see here. Let's look at his last 5 games, okay? Maybe this is what I was thinking. Starting in week 12, let's start there. 84.9, then 53.5, 30.7, 37.7, 72.6. All right, so you're looking at a ceiling of 84.9. That was his best game of the year. And in that 5-game span, a low of 30. That's still pretty volatile, right? That was against Detroit. But, yeah, he played slot in that game. So, yeah, the 37.7 was as a safety, and then he played safety against Chicago, which was a 72.6. And then you said tonight, Emilio, he was in the 80s. Is that right? I hear you right?
76.3.
76.3. Okay. Yeah, Tim, you're right, man. You're right. I'm about to get out over my skis there. We need to keep looking, and who knows? Maybe he grows in. And he's that dude. Create a little competition, though, right?
I'll hold the torch for he's the guy at slot, Tim. You can yell at me later.
Yeah, and maybe he's still the guy that can go back, to post safety or something if we need him to. If he's got a week prep, if somebody goes down and you can prep him and do an install, put him back there, he looks a little more comfortable. But
give him.
Really, he's got a knack for the slot, man. I've always felt like he's kind of a linebacker trapped in a DB's body. I like him playing down in the box. I like him near the line of scrimmage. I think it's worth maybe looking to build depth there, but I think Bullard might be that dude. I really do.
Give all the rookies another year to develop in a full off season with their D coordinator. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah. If I had to make a decision, do you keep Bullard or do you go get someone else? I'm keeping Bullard. I'm leaning towards Bullard.
Right.
Like you said, let's keep looking too. Godsmack AR69 with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, see you gentlemen at the draft. We'll see you there, bub. It's we're gonna put a game plan together to where we can meet up, maybe at a certain lot or what have you. I'm gonna talk to Paul over at Ticket King and see if we can work something out there too. We'll see. I don't want to put anybody in any awkward spots because that place is going to be an absolute madhouse. I've already tried to get a luxury box at Lambeau. That's off limits. They've got that stuff booked. I've tried a couple other things. But worst case scenario, we'll find a corner of the parking lot to meet up at, take some pictures, hang out. If there is some kind of tailgate set up or what have you, maybe we can go grab dinner. I'd like to do that with some of the members that are going to be there too, if it ain't too large of a crowd, let's say we have 10 or 15 people that's going to be in town early, right? Maybe we can meet up, go to 1919 Kitchen and Tap or something, grab a little dinner, grab a little elk stroganoff. Y'all can carry me out of there while I'm snoring. It'll be fun though, man. It's gonna be a good time for sure. King Tron, couple bucks for Tuck the Truck. Hey boy, what about that? 8 yards on a quarterback sneak from Tuck the Draft, man. That was absolutely awesome.
I love how Philly sniffed it out both times and they still couldn't do anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go, how's that feel? You've been doing it to everybody else all year.
We did the push on Philly in their own building twice. I'll take that.
They love getting in there pushing the pile too.
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny too when they did their fake tush push and threw the pass. I stood up and screamed at the top of my lungs because we stopped it right on that 3rd and short, and I went, "You cute bastards! That's right." And then they went back to the huddle. I went, "Now they're going to do the tush push. Get the first down. This sucks." That's immediately my response.
For sure.
Oh man. Anyway, all right. That's it. We're going to get out of here, guys. We'll be back.
Spin it.
Oh, Lord.
And then we can get out of here. Let's go.
That's a good point. Let's go to the Larry McCarron Pinky Wheel.
How about these hands?
We're giving away an awesome piece of memorabilia that was donated from Trevor Anderson, okay? Donated by Trevor Anderson, I should say. And really, really cool. It's the picture of Carl Brooks blocking the field goal from the Bears game, okay? And what we're going to do here, if I can get this window to open up, man, my computer is acting weird. Here we go. I want to show you guys. We're going to shuffle this thing, all right? Somebody give me a random number in the chat. It doesn't matter, 1 to 10. Random number.
10 for all the damn points we got tonight.
But we can't say it because they'll still say it's rigged, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
I need somebody in the chat. And you guys look at the chat for me. Say a number 1 to 10 right now. 1 to 10. First comment, 1 to 10.
I'm waiting for it.
4. Nate Dizzle is in with 4. We're going 4.
All right, we're going to shuffle it 4 times, okay? We got 128 entries. These are everybody from our Patreon group, one of the 3 tiers, doesn't matter which tier you are, or a YouTube member. All right, and we're going to give away an autographed picture of Carl Brooks blocking the kick from the Bears game. It's autographed by Carl Brooks, dated, and says the block. Really cool piece of memorabilia donated from Trevor Anderson. Shuffling it 4 times, right? Here we go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's spin this sucker. Y'all ready?
King Tron, in the wise words of PTA, big money, no whammies. And I hope I win it. Spin it.
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy.
The winner of the autograph Carl Brooks picture is... Oh, is it
Fractal of God?
Here's the guy.
We'll be able to find that cat, I promise you. I've probably pissed him off tonight. We'll find him and smooth that over real quick, right? Fractal of God, you won. You're the first place winner. We're going to spin it 2 more times in case he decided he unsubbed to the channel and never talks to us again. All right.
Possible.
In case we can't find Fractal of God, the
How
second
about
place
Eric?
winner.
Uncle Eric on this one. Let's get one.
Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, Mark
Zambito. Okay.
Oh, Marky Z.
Mark Zambito. That's Uncle Zambito. Hey, give me some lasagna. All right. Here we go. 3rd time. If we can't find Uncle Mark Zambito, then the winner of the autographed Carl Brooks picture is that DJ Jesse Jeff? What is that? Jacob Clay. That's mine and Jacob's love child, I guess.
You don't say that.
You don't say that. All right, so Jacob Clay. So, again, the winner is Fractal of God. I'm sure we won't have a hard time finding him. He's in the Patreon group. I think he's got like 3 different aliases, so he might be on the wheel multiple times. Who knows? Which is legal, by the way, if you want to go that route. I'm just saying. But Fractal of God is your first place winner. If we don't hear from him, it'll be Mark Zambito. If we don't hear from him, it'll be Jacob Clay. But like I said, I'm sure that Fractal of God will come forward. So there you go. Emilio, thank you for reminding me of that, man.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, I know this show sucks, but we can't suck that bad. We got to at least spin it. Now we can just walk off into the sunset.
Exactly. And I want to say this isn't the last time you're going to see that gnawed up pinky there. We're going to be doing giveaways all off season too. So we're going to continue to roll with that. We got all kinds of memorabilia in the hopper here to give away as well. So parting thoughts, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all's time tonight.
Go Pack Go. Still love the green and gold, man. Next year, let's get it. I mean, there's nothing else we can do about this year, right? Start looking forward. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate Bates and everyone else, man. Thanks for a great year, honestly.
Amen to that, man. Green and gold till we're dead and cold, baby. I'll say it like I always do. Happy to be here to talk ball with you guys this season. It's been a hell of a ride, and no need to get too extreme, right? It's a tough loss, and we knew it was going to be an uphill battle, and this team is building for the future. That's why we went with the youth movement when we did. You know, we had every opportunity to keep a bunch of old dogs around. We decided to go with the youth movement, and this is called growing pains. So be patient. Let this team grow. Let Goody cook in another draft. Home draft advantage. See you guys up here in Titletown pretty soon. And, just grateful for the experience and looking forward to breaking things down as we go into draft season and the off season.
Yeah, very well said. Shout out to all the super chats. King Tron, Eldergrim, Josh Martin, Mike Hebring, Randy Cleavers. We've got Godsmack AR69. We've got Nate Dogg. We got Mike Witt, Biz, King Tron, Eldergrim, Biz, King Tron. Nick McSwain been a member for 9 months. Mike Witt again. I wasn't saying you were a hater, Mike Witt. Okay. Jen Wright been a member for 8 months. Appreciate you. Daniel, CJN, Badger Trio, Mike Hebring again, Nate Dizzle again, Badger Trio again, Jake G126. This hot little blonde firecracker Nate. I'm spending my money. Seth Ruder's a hot little blonde firecracker too.
Dude, I did not see that coming.
King Tron again, Godsmack, Jazambi. We got Brian Pumper, our resident Eagle fan in the house. King Tron again, King Tron again, King Tron with the buck. Said go buy you another one of them shirts, Emilio. United Bates with the big hundo. Man,
Bates are great.
Man, you're gonna buy a couple pair of shoes with that, I promise. Chris in again. Godsmack AR69, King Tron. I just want to list them off because we appreciate y'all, man. Can you show them that shirt, Emilio, by the way? That's the coolest shirt I've ever seen. Sister bought you that, right?
Yeah.
Look at that right there. I got the American flag, but it's a cheese head. That's good. All right, guys, we're out. I will be back in the morning for Good Morning Lambo. I don't know if Tim will. Tim, if you want to jump on, let's roll.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
All right, there you go. You determined. Emilio, you'll be asleep or working, one of the two, right?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, thank you all for an awesome season. It's been a blast. 2025 starts right now, man. Let's get into it. All right, we'll talk to y'all in the morning. Go Pack, go.
And we go. Bye, guys.